Teen pregnancy is a real issue with teens. In addressing teen pregnancy, we need to think about it in a global way and address it in a multifaceted way.
I think it's wonderful to bring a child into the world, but teen pregnancy is not the best thing. But I support anyone who has to have a baby at that time of their life, and they need the support.
It's super important to be educated in all aspects of life, and I think that it is important in schools because it's in a place where we all know everybody goes to, that sex education is important and sponsored and funded. Too many people have too many misconceptions about sexuality and sex and the differences, so it's imperative that we as a country and as a state and at the local, state, and national level fund sex education in schools to make sure people understand and have access.
I think it's an important thing to learn in school, and sometimes it's not taught in the home, so it's good to know that it's talked about in the school setting.
You get it from your parents, really, but it's good to hear from other adults because you would think, oh, my parents are just saying this, and then you'll wind up seeing or hearing about it in other adults or whatever. So yeah, I do. I think it's effective in school.
I think the system does a good job with educating preteens in middle school and high school, but I think we have to go beyond that. Not only do we need to share the factual, we need to also share the social, emotional impact.
I think it informs them, but it doesn't necessarily prevent it. The teens make their own decisions, so they just need to be careful and realize that bringing a child into the world is a lot of work, and especially as a teen and if you're still in high school.
See, well, sex education is taught in health in the 9th grade. And in the 9th grade, probably through the 9th grade, it does, tell the teens probably do listen and follow by that. But towards the end, I think that, we're later on, after after probably like the next year in the, in school, like a 10th grader, they might forget and, they might try to attack.
Don't see sex enough in school. They just talk about it for one little second and then expect them not to go have sex.
So you think it's a hush-hush topic?
Yeah.
Abstinence is burying your head in the sand and hoping something bad doesn't happen. It just doesn't work, and there's no data that I know of. Not that I'm the definitive expert, but there's no data that suggests that abstinence programs work. In fact, I think they do more harm.
I feel like they should teach both because sometimes it's not always, at one point in time it's bound to happen, but I feel like they should teach the safety, like using condoms and stuff like that, rather than just being like, oh, stay abstinent, because there's a lot of teens in high school who don't stay abstinent. They just use contraceptives.
I agree because yeah, what she say? I can't explain it. Like it's like they should know about what to do and if they do it and how to
stay safe.
Yeah.
I think they're both good. Abstinence needs to be taught. It's simple. If you don't have sex, you don't have a baby. It's pretty simple. And if you use contraception the correct way, you shouldn't have a baby either. So I support either, but they have to realize that they have to do one or the other, or they have that risk of having a child.
I think that more people in impoverished areas who lack access don't necessarily get pregnant at a higher rate. I'd have to see some data on that,
They don't have a way to deal with it.
but they don't necessarily have the access in which to deal with the effects of being pregnant. So actually the access of that wealthier people might have.
Can't afford to pay for their health, like their health bills. So if they're not able to pay for like the medicine or their health care, then it kind of like contradicts what they want to do. Like,
Yeah.
you can't really.
I think birth control should be made available to anybody and
Any-
everybody.
Right.
Access to me, there's no such thing in my mind that if you put a bowl of condoms out for anybody to grab, that to me doesn't promote sex. That promotes safe sex. Teenagers are going to have sex. It's natural rite of passage. Like, but giving kids access and information is also vital. You know, I'm not saying handing out birth control pills to women out of a vending machine or for free the same way you get condoms in a sense, but condoms don't necessarily, birth control doesn't stop STDs the way condoms do. So there's a twofold thing here. But I think access is vital. So Planned Parenthood is one of the most important aspects of American society, and for our government to consider shutting it down when 99% of what Planned Parenthood does has nothing to do with abortions is just the biggest mistake, and I consider it to be violence against women, especially poor women. It's a form of violence.
Birth control, it does help prevent, that situation. So, I mean, if you don't want to listen to, your teachers in schools about staying abstinent, then yeah, you should take birth control so you can at least, prevent that, or put yourself into that predicament. You can stop it, prevent it.
I mean, I know some people use birth control for, like, if they're on their period, it helps them with that. But
As far as a form of contraception,
yeah,
you
shouldn't
disagree.
be doing it anyways, is what I'm saying. But if you plan B, like you said before, it's a good, safer way.
I would say either way.
If you are having sex, then you should use it.
Yeah, I would
Okay.
say
Yeah.
either way, like
Condom.
right, condom. Like,
Yeah, that's first, then plan B
That's-
is birth.
Women should have options. They should have access. They should have those options. I don't think legislation should have anything to do with whether you should take away a woman's access. I'm not necessarily pro-abortion, but I'm pro-choice. I think that women should have the ability to choose.
I don't think abortion is a good thing because that's basically murdering kids. If you don't want the kid, you could at least give birth to him because there's always a family that wants a new child.
Are you aware of the 400,000 plus kids in adoption? So you're strictly pro-life?
I guess you could say that.